recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivia Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivia Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivia Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Zahkia Mendoza. Hello, Zahkia.
Hello, Jonathan.
2 in a row from you. Welcome back. We are also here today with Erin Barkley. Hello, Erin.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello. Good to see you. And we have
You too.
2 really good guests. We're going to have a great game today. Chuck Yu is with us today. Hey, Chuck.
How's it going?
Doing great. And Drew Grant is with us today. Hey, Drew.
Hey there, glad to be here again.
Absolutely. So I want to get to know both of you a little bit better. Chuck, we'll start with you. Please tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Yeah, I am a software developer from Silver Spring, Maryland. Something fun about myself, my wife and I do the New York Times crossword every night, and up until recently, we had over a 1,000-day completion streak, and I went to bed late one night and accidentally just forgot to do it, and that's how we ended it.
Oh my goodness.
So we're back up into the hundreds now, but yeah.
How long does it take for you to do that?
On Mondays, our goal is under 4 minutes. And then on, I think our best later in the week, probably about 10 minutes for Saturday, but I don't keep track of that much, but it's just fun to do.
It would take me like 2 hours.
Right. I
I've had
can't
ones
even
take
read
me
the
2
clues in
hours.
4 minutes.
You can't even read the clues.
I've seen some people who complete the Sunday in like 4.5 minutes, and it's like, if you gave me all the answers and just had me type them in, I'm not sure if I could do that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. Good for you. That's cool. I bet that helps with retaining a lot of interesting things too.
It occasionally does.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we're glad that you are here. Drew, you're going to have to top that. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
All right. Good morning or afternoon for you on the East.
Yep.
My name is Drew Grant. I am from Boise, Idaho, and I am a corporate team leader for a Western restaurant chain out here. Been a little while since I've been on the show. Since the last time I was here, I had the honor of competing for the Galaxy Championship for Blitz with 2 good friends of ours, Jeremy Conman and Andrew Milnar. So that was it was a pretty epic match. We went 62 questions.
It was a barn burner.
20 rounds.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, that's 3 people just right. It's like, oh my God, they're so fast. I loved it. Great job. Very cool. Well, we are going to have a super fun time today. Looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward right now to warm it up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
And Erin will be playing the part of Chris.
So I was inspired for this one by that meme that does the rounds every now and then, where people talk about cat people versus dog people, and dog people like, this is my precious Bella McFloppy ears, and she cost $2,000, and I drove to South Carolina to get her, and I'm like, this is my cat. He's orange, so I call him Orange Cat, and I found him under a porch. So what I have done is I have compiled lists of actual breed names for cats and dogs, and you're just going to tell me if the breed is a cat or a dog.
Okay.
Cool.
I feel like you were low-key picking on Nick with that whole little bit there.
I wasn't actually. I was picking on
No.
a different friend of mine, but adopt, don't shop. But also, yes. I had forgotten they
I
were
did go to
doing
New
that.
Jersey. I did go to New Jersey to get both of my dogs. So
There you go. Picking on people indiscriminately.
Indiscriminately, it's a personal choice. Do what you want. I love my cats very much, and they both came out from under the same porch. So,
Man, don't look under that porch again. You don't have room.
It's very true. So, Jonathan, we're going to start with you because yours is the face currently in the box on the screen. You get Snowshoe.
Snowshoe is the whole name of the breed?
Well, if it included the name cat or dog, I have removed that. But yes.
Okay. I've never heard of a snowshoe dog, and I've heard of a lot more dogs than cats. I'm going to say cat.
It is a cat.
Woohoo.
Ooh. And just so you guys know, I, as always, rolled a d20, so do not try to game theory this because it will not help.
It'll still help.
Next up, Drew, you get Australian Mist.
Ooh, it's a fancy beverage.
Like Jonathan, I'm going to be relying on my knowledge of dog breeds. I don't have a clue about cat breeds. Never heard of an Australian mist dog. I'm going to say cat.
It is a cat. It's a great cat. Chuck, you're up next with Peruvian Inca Orchid.
Peruvian Inca Orchid.
Another nice drink.
Right?
Can I say none of the above and it's a flower?
It's a sparkling water.
Yeah. I am going to also use what I think is a better knowledge of dog breeds than cat breeds and say this is a cat.
Oh, I got you. It is a dog.
Yeah. You never heard of the orchid dogs of Peruvian Incas?
Come on. I've been there.
I picked the weird name ones. Zahkia, you get Borzoi.
Borzoi. That sounds like Russian. So Russian makes me think cat, but it sounds more like a dog, but I'm gonna say cat.
That's a dog.
It's a dog.
Ah!
Yeah.
It's a dog.
They're like the Afghans. They kind of look like Afghans with a shorter coat.
That's what the picture on Google told me. Back to Jonathan, you get Norwegian Forest.
I'm going to say that's a dog.
That is a cat.
Boo.
The forest-dwelling cats of Norway. Drew, you get Devon Rex.
Well, again, having not heard of this dog breed, I'm going to say cat.
It's a cat.
I should have stuck with my
Very
logic
nice.
because I would have been right with the last one if I'd done it.
Chuck, Kai Ken. Kaiken.
Kai Ken. I'll say it's a dog.
It is a dog. It's a fluffy little dog. Zahkia, you get Basenji. Basenji.
Basenji. It's a great name. It sounds like a dog.
It is a dog.
Very nice.
Yay. Back to you, Jonathan. You get Turkish Angora.
Well, I've never heard of the dog. I'm going to say cat.
It is a cat.
There it is.
Good logic.
Very nice.
Drew, you get a Russian Blue.
Okay, that one I've heard of. So my mom had one of those. Yeah, I'm going to say cat.
It is a cat.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be very smart, I think. They're great. Chuck, you get Bombay.
That's all?
Sapphire. It's a gin. Dog, cat, or gin?
Dog, cat, or gin. Bombay. I'll say that's a dog.
It is a cat. My Jimmy's a Bombay. If they're all black, they're probably Bombays.
Huh.
I just call them black
Zahkia.
cats.
Well, yeah. I mean, and this is the thing, like the joke is, people are like, oh my God, what kind of dog? It's like, well, he's part this and part that and part this. People go, what kind of cat? I'm like, it's a black one and an orange one. They're cats. I don't know. Zahkia, you get a Bichon Frise.
I know Bichon Frise. Those are the little white dogs.
All right, guys, I'm breaking in here. I probably just did the chimes because we have a new player that's joined late. I'm glad that she was able to get on. So Daniela Browning has joined us mid Warm It Up Chris. We were having a hard time connecting. We got connected, so she is going to get 3 questions in a row, and then we're going to finish up the rest of Warm It Up Chris, and then we're going to introduce her like we would have at the beginning. So, Erin, let's get rolling.
Daniela, question number 1 of 3 is a Sarabi. A cat or a dog?
I'm going to go cat because that's the name of the cat in Lion King.
Oh, it is, but it is a dog.
Oh,
sorry.
Whoa! That was such good logic.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even clock that.
I didn't either.
Daniela, again, a Portuguese pondango.
You're a Portuguese pondango.
Dog.
That is a dog.
There it is.
Very nice.
And your third one, to get you nice and warm, Abyssinian.
Cat?
It is a cat.
Yeah.
2 for 3.
Nice
Ain't
job.
All right. Now back to whichever order you're going to put us in, Erin.
Who knows? Drew, you're up next. You get a Pumi. Pumi.
Ooh, me. Okay.
No, poo you.
Don't have any dog knowledge here. I'll go with a dog. I don't know.
It is a dog. You may
Nice.
expect it to be a cat because it sounds like Puma, but it's
I thought
not.
it was a tiny puma.
That was my
Aw.
nickname in high school. Tiny Puma. I was very...
Tiny Puma.
No, actually, there's no way to make that true. I wasn't small. I wasn't fast.
Aw. Chuck, how about a British short hair?
British short hair. I'm going to say that sounds like a dog.
It is a cat.
Oh.
Zahkia, how about Akita? Akita.
I know this one. This is it's a Japanese dog.
It is, as featured in the musical Rent. Our
Yes.
Akita, Evita.
Vita.
Jonathan, you get Scottish Fold.
Scottish Fold is a cat.
It is. It's a cat with little floppy
Yeah,
ears.
the flop ears.
Yep. Daniela, you get the last one.
Okay.
It is the Norbottens Pets. Morrbotttenspets.
Like that made it better.
Now that you've given me the alphabet, let's say cat.
It is a dog. It is a German dog.
Ah.
Yep. And that was Warm It Up, Chris.
All right. That was a good one, Erin.
Very
That
nice.
was interesting. It's funny how many more dog breeds there are than cat breeds. You don't hear a lot of the cat. Like, it's just long hair, short hair, medium hair for most of the cats,
Yeah.
it seems like.
There's cats.
I have a Sphinx cat.
Yeah.
Those
No
are
hair.
cool.
And you have Egyptian Mao is another one that didn't come up there. Mao.
Meow.
I have a calico and a furball.
Wait, is your calico a minx?
No, she's just a regular calico.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and the other one's just literally a furball.
So so that ended Warming Up Chris. Before we jump into the game, I do want to introduce Daniela appropriately. So Daniela Browning, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Please tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I am Daniela Browning from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, north of the border. I have my own design and construction business. And something fun about myself. I came to Trivial Warfare through my sister, Michelle, who actually had trivia as the party at her wedding. And it was with the Trivia Hall of Fame. I cannot remember his name right now, from
Paul?
Ottawa. Yeah, he was supposed to be there. He was sick. His wife took over.
Oh,
But it was an amazing, it was a super small wedding, 30 people, and it was such a fun night.
what a fun way to do a party. That's very inventive.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, we are super glad to have you here. So this is going to be episode number 418. That means we are on the main feed today. So a big hello to everyone who is listening to this right now. We really appreciate you. I want to let you know that you have the chance to come on the show yourself. If you are a patron at the lieutenant level or higher, go to trivialwarfarearmy.com in order to sign up and join that. Or at the sergeant level, which is $5 a month, you get access to the paywall, essentially. Every show that we've done on the main feed is available at the $5 a month sergeant level at trivialwarfarearmy.com. And I also want to let you know that you can play along with today's show by using the Triviamatic app. That is Triviamatic. You can pick it up on your Play Store or App Store. Just download it, hit the Play Now button, and use this code, 672-546. That's 672-546 to play along with today's show. One last thing before we get to today's game. I want to let you know that after the midpoint today, I'm going to run a trailer for a new podcast called Lifeyness. Lifeyness is my girlfriend Sarah's new podcast. It's a podcast targeted to women that is focused on joyful embodiment, and she can describe it much better than I ever could. So stick around after the midpoint and listen to her trailer for her new show, Lifeyness, and then go check it out. I think that you will like it. So be sure to listen to the trailer after the midpoint. All right, so the business stuff is done. Now I'm happy to say that today's game, it's going to be Daniela, Chuck, and Jonathan versus Zahkia and Drew. Erin is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Hooray! Round number 1. Question 1. Category is Take Pride in Your Work. Question is, Busty Ross is the drag name of Gilbert Baker, who is best known for his 1978 contribution to society. What did Gilbert Baker design and create?
We can lock in. Yeah, that looks good, Drew.
Locking in.
Okay, so Chuck and Daniela, design and create.
1978.
And this is a drag queen from 1978. So, I mean, I would assume that would have something to do with...
Is this the guy who made the boots for Kinky Boots?
I don't know.
Could it be simple? Could it be just the rainbow flag?
I don't know.
Because so Kinky Boots came out in
No, but it's based on a true story of a shoemaker who was going out of business, and suddenly that's what the show is about, and the movie's about this guy who was going out of business, and he started making boots for drag queens.
But was this person a drag queen in the story?
No, you're right. He's not. He was not.
Then I think
maybe
the rainbow
the pride
flag is a pretty
better.
Good guess. Because it would be worth it would be like something worth knowing, you know.
Feels like it was from around that time, but I've obviously never heard of this person. It's just a kind of a educated.
It's gonna be the flag, Betsy Ross.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Betsy Ross designed the American flag, so that's a great connection. That's right there. We should do that.
Okay.
All right. You want to lock in rainbow flag?
We're gonna say the rainbow pride flag.
Okay. And Zahkia and Drew, y'all locked in quick. What did you say?
Yeah, so we were both on this pretty quickly. I actually only learned this a couple weeks ago, but I'm glad it came up. And we also said the rainbow flag.
Jonathan, starting out by pulling a Jonathan. It was the pride flag.
No, that's all Chuck. Chuck had that answer.
The museum in DC, which closed a couple years ago, but they had just a collection of stuff that was newsworthy, and it was an incredible museum. And they had the Berlin Wall and the antenna from the World Trade Tower and the sewing machine that Gilbert Baker used to make the first pride flag, which was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, round 1, question 2. Your category is references. In the board game Root, players are one of 4 asymmetrical factions vying for control in a woodland. It is often compared favorably to what series of children's fantasy novels, which were published in 1986 until the final novel was published posthumously in 2011.
You're good, Zahkia?
Yeah.
All right. We'll lock in.
All right, yes.
Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela, talk it out.
So, yeah, I mean, I would hope that whatever the series is, if it's being compared to this, and this seems to be like a nature-based game with 4 factions, and nature factions might be things like ants or weeds or lichen, or I don't know what the factions could be, right? Animals or plants?
So the four factions of the game, I think, are just animals. I wish I knew more about this game. I play a lot of games, but this is one that I have not picked up yet.
It's going to be like ants and bears and...
It's like raccoons and like, I forget what the other ones are, but...
So a fantasy series like the Owls of Tahul or it's going to be a fantasy series focused on animals probably then.
I wish I read more fantasy series based on animals when I was in middle school.
Yeah, I have to say, this is right in my correct age range for me to have read this, but I was elbow deep in Nancy Drew, so I don't know.
And it kept going for a long time until 2011. So 86 to 2011, that's
25 years.
25 years.
Oh, could it be like Animorphs? That is a fantasy series. And they have animals.
That is a thing.
I mean, it's better. It's a thing.
I don't love it because it's not like I feel like they were all kind of separate stories. And it's not like but I don't know.
I love it, Chuck. Compared to the absolutely negative value contribution I'm making right now, that seems like a very valid, valuable answer.
I have a very deep bag of nothing, so yeah. Let's do it.
She's elbow deep in her deep bag of nothing.
We could see if we could pull a Jonathan with Animorphs.
Yeah.
All right, we'll lock in Animorphs.
We're not sure either, but picking up on the context clues, I grew up reading this series a little bit. I never finished it, but there are certainly factions of animals. There's one side that's like foxes and rats and ferrets, I think, and then the other one is what are called shrews, kind of like mouse little things. Anyways, there's always a mouse on the cover, and we went with Redwall.
Oh no!
All right. Animorphs was published from June of 96 till September of 2012. But the books that I was wondering about, my mom tried to get me to read them my entire childhood, but I was oppositionally defiant, so I didn't. They are the Redwall books.
Oh, nice job, guys.
All right.
Forgive me a moment. I'm going to leave my computer for about 20 seconds. I'll be right back.
He's going to
He's got the whole set sitting at home.
He's got the whole thing. Yep.
I don't feel so bad because it rang a bell somewhere, but it's not something that would have pulled.
It was definitely something that I saw when I was in middle school. Like the librarians were all like, "Yeah, this is this great series," but that's not one that I ever read.
No, me neither.
I would like to show you a gift that my mother got for my son this Christmas.
You should take the plastic.
It is a 6-book Redwall set. As soon as you said Redwall, I'm like, oh no, it's in my house. Oh my God.
The answer is coming from inside the apartment.
That sucked. To have it all right there and have no knowledge of what it is unbelievable.
At least you had to leave your desk for it. I mean, if it was, yeah.
All right, that was fun. Round 1, question 3. Apologies to Joel. The category is, well, that's some racist bullshit.
Beep. Wow.
What pseudoscience claimed that skull size and shape was indicative of development and personality traits? It was widely accepted in the 17 and 1800s, but subsequent research has roundly debunked it.
Toot toot beep beep.
Oh.
Yeah, we got.
I don't have a beep beep. I'm sorry.
Big meow meows here. We're locking in.
Oh my God! You gotta meow meow. There's too much in one team.
You guys want a 3, 2, 1 this?
No, I mean we don't know for sure. We haven't even talked yet.
Oh, sorry. I saw the whistle and the hammer, and I got excited.
It's the same team asked for both of them. All right, so I assume y'all are locked in.
Yes.
I remember a very stupid movie from the 90s, and maybe it was Dumb and Dumber. It might have been Dumb and Dumber, where they talk about judging somebody's personality by the shape of their head and by like the feel of their head. And so they touch people's head and try and figure it out. And that was called phrenology.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of this, but yeah, that sounds good to me.
I've heard the concept and left like the scientific or pseudoscientific concept of it, but I wouldn't have been able to pull a name. So if you think phrenology is what's kind of tickling you, then go for it.
Yeah, I think it's phrenology.
All right, let's go. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I have no
All right.
answer other than that. So
We will guess phrenology.
All right, Zahkia and Drew.
It is also the name of a Roots album. I believe the Roots. We said phrenology.
The racist tie-in is it was used as a defense for slavery, for slaves kind of being
Okay.
Yeah, it was the justification.
naturally subjugated.
Exactly. The justification for treating people of different races differently was like, well, yeah, of course he's inferior. Look at the shape of his head, which is nonsense. But the answer is phrenology, which is
All right.
not
all right,
not
nice
nonsense
job.
because you guys all got it.
Nice job, Jonathan.
Woo!
Good job. After the first round, Drew and Zahkia have 30. Daniela, Chuck, and Jonathan have 20. Round number 2, question 1. Your category is animals in sports.
Sports.
There it is. What bird with a noteworthy wingspan is also the word for a golfer who scores 2 below par?
I got meow-meows on this.
Meow.
You can 3, 2, 1 this if you want. If Zahkia, if you trust me.
I mean, Chuck, let's
trust
type
you.
it just so
That
that
looks good.
I'm sure we're on the same page, okay?
You said 2 below par, correct?
No, I
Yes.
disagree, Chuck. I
Oh,
totally
yep.
disagree.
Wrong one. That one.
Thank you. Yes.
No.
Yeah, no, that's why
I
I
got too
checked.
excited.
All right, so
You want
I'm
yes.
not fighting.
3, 2, 1 it?
Sure.
What are we
count
doing?
it down, Erin.
Who's where?
You got to count 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Eagle.
Yeah, good job. I screwed this up. I had originally written this where the answer was albatross, and then I reread the question. I'm like, that's not right. The answer is eagle. I'm just
Funny enough,
bad
I
at my
misheard
job.
you when I typed in albatross.
Chuck,
And,
Chuck tried to answer the question you tried to ask.
Right. Right. Well, because the notable wingspan. I mean, eagles are big too, but I
think I stopped listening when you said notable wingspan.
Yep. Sorry about that. I'm glad it all came out in the wash. Round 2. Question 2. Your category is advocacy. Holly Mangold's Instagram handle is fat_Olympian75, and she uses the platform to show that athleticism does not have one shape or size. Holly competed for the U.S. in the 2012 Olympics in what sport?
Okay, we're going to lock in.
All right.
So I'm going between weightlifting and shot put would be my 2 go-tos.
Very logical choices.
Those are both very good guesses. Yep.
Do you get high marks for cannonballs in diving?
No. No, that is
So
frowned upon.
Diving is out then.
Diving would be out.
Because I can make a big splash, so.
Sumo is not in the Olympics, is it?
Actually, it was in Japan, I think, or will be in Japan, perhaps. But
The Japanese Olympics already happened,
Yeah.
God, time is
and they were
weird.
winter.
Okay, then not that. I if I was guessing, I would guess weightlifting. It seems like the way to go.
That's my favorite of the 2 answers, Daniela. That was yeah.
Let's go weightlifting then.
We did the same. I've got a old high school friend whose Facebook page is basically a hype page for their cousin, Holly Mangold.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's definitely weightlifting.
What are the odds?
That's a good in.
She also did some kind of parody thing with the NFL. I think that's where I first saw the name, but that was a while ago.
Yeah, her brother is Nick Mangold,
Nick
who played
Mangold.
for the Jets.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. She competes in the 75 plus weight class. She is an Olympic weightlifter.
All right.
Very nice.
It's a pretty cool page. She's very funny. She's very thoughtful. She's really good at clapping back at people who are like, but what about your knees? She's like, I can put like twice my body weight over my head. Shut up. She's cool. Round 2, question 3, category is, oops. The death of what actress in February of 2023 inadvertently triggered some panic in Kansas City when the title of the film Kansas City Bomber was trending on Twitter at the same time the Chiefs were having their Super Bowl parade?
Okay. We'll go ahead and lock in.
Okay.
I can't think of actresses who died in February.
Yeah, I usually keep up with these, but
Yeah, I follow
remember.
people.com. This is not.
Are you familiar with this movie at all?
No, I've never heard of it.
Like, there's an Oklahoma City bombing. Was there a Kansas City bombing around the same time? I feel like there might have been. Or are we talking about like an old movie? That's what I'm trying to
Might have been.
establish.
Who? Oh, no, not Sophia Loren. No, yeah, Sophia Loren.
Sophia
She died.
Loren. February of 2023 is this month.
Yeah, she just died.
She just died. No. Raquel Welch.
Oh, was it Raquel Welch?
It was Raquel Welch.
Yeah, sorry, I mixed the two up. Raquel Welch definitely died in February.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And this is February. I was thinking of it as a past thing from like months ago. No, this is February, and she just passed away.
That's what was bugging me. I was like, I'm on people pretty much every day at one point or another.
And she was a bombshell. So whether they call her a bomber, that's weird, but I think Raquel Welch is the answer to go with.
Yeah.
All right, let's lock it in.
Zahkia and Drew?
I have to say, Jonathan, stop it!
It's them. They're giving answers, and I'm just helping confirm.
I said the wrong name. He just corrected me.
That's right.
So, Drew was like, hey, the only person I can think that died in February is Raquel Welch. And I'm like, Kansas City Bomber was that roller derby movie she was in.
Really?
So,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, the answer is Raquel Welch.
Nice job. I completely forgot it was still February.
I thought February was like 6 months ago, honest to God.
Right. Time is so weird.
I forgot it was 2023. Okay.
Also that.
Yeah. It is a loss to the listenership of this show that they can't watch what's going on in the chat when you guys are pulling these answers. There's a lot of caps happening, a lot of yelling, a lot of feelings
between
about
Drew
the
and
answers.
Zahkia?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I just look at my phone. I'm like, why are they yelling? Oh, it is Raquel Welch. Good work. Sophia Loren still alive as of this recording.
When we had the Busty Ross question, I was like, oh, I just learned this. I must have learned this during Pride Month, and then realized that Pride Month was like, we're closer to the next Pride Month than we are to the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Time's lost all meaning.
We do Pride in September for some reason, so it always confuses me. Like that's not a good timestamp in my head because it's one of the two. After the second round, Daniela, Chuck, and Jonathan have 50. Zahkia and Drew have 60. Y'all both swept that round. Good job.
Good game so far.
Yeah. Cruising. Round 3, question 1. Category is Art Imitates Life. What's the deal with AI? Nothing Forever was an AI-generated parody of What sitcom, which had been running since December of 2022. It was suspended less than 2 months later because it had reached the point in the AI's interactions with humans that it had started making transphobic jokes.
We can lock this in.
We can?
Okay.
Well, you should wait. You should tell us what it is first.
Did I not chat it to you guys?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't even fully understand the question, but I'll take your word for it. Okay. Daniela, are you cool?
Oh, I'm good.
All right. Sure. We'll lock it in.
Okay. Drew and Zahkia, talk it out.
So I was just typing to Zahkia in the chat. Zahkia, if I say sitcom and nothing, what do you think of?
Seinfeld. Got it.
Yeah. This is big on Twitch. So, yeah, definitely Seinfeld.
And Chuck came in with the answer. What did you say?
Yeah, I was doing a little, I was just going down an internet rabbit hole last night. I played with ChatGPT for the first time, and then I learned about this, actually. It was just, that's exactly what you were talking about. They made like an infinite kind of Seinfeld parody, and then it started making transphobic jokes, and so they had to shut it down.
Yep, that is correct. There was also the hint in What's the Deal with AI, but you guys didn't need it. The answer is Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to say it like, what's the deal with AI?
Nice clue.
That would have given it away, though.
Yeah, I don't catch those enough.
Round 3, question 2. Kind of a big deal on the internet. Sculptor Amari Guichon gained internet fame in 2016 when he began posting his work on TikTok and Instagram. He leveraged his success into his own Netflix show where he taught 8 aspiring people how to do what he does. What medium does Guichon use for his work?
I feel like I'm so far away from you in terms of the kind of things we pay attention to.
Zahkia, I'm just making sure. No, I'm thinking of the right guy. We can lock in if you're good with it. It's the TikTok. I know. I know it.
Okay.
And I know he's French, so I'm feeling very solid about it.
Okay. I didn't know that TikTok was around in 2016, but I feel like what I want to tell you, I want to tell you in chat. However, I'm okay with locking in your answer.
Too late. We're locked in.
Okay, there we go.
I'm like, they're just going to keep going.
I do remember like some kind of like chocolate sculptory show in the ether. I was thinking either glass blowing or chocolate. So I'm okay with chocolate, especially with the guichon. That does sound like a French name, and we know the French and chocolat are together forever.
This guy is huge on TikTok. There's this thing on TikTok where like you duet a video and then you just show it on the right side while you're reacting on the left, and like everybody is doing that with his work. And I know he's French. Guichon sounds like the right name. Yeah, the year sounds. You said TikTok 2016. Did we hear that right?
TikTok and Instagram 2016.
TikTok was still musically, or lyrically, or what was it called? Musically, right?
Musically.
Yeah, I thought it was still that back then.
Yeah, but
anyways,
he said TikTok and Instagram. So I mean, he could have started on Instagram in 2016 and made his way over to TikTok. But yeah, I'm good with chocolate.
Yep, I'm good with it.
And Daniela had this one.
Actually, I started with glass as well. And then when I heard the name again, I said, no, I'm pretty sure this is the chocolate guy that I've seen his videos on Instagram. I'm not a huge TikTok person, but I've seen his videos on Instagram. So I'm pretty sure it's chocolate.
We went with it. We loved it.
TikTok was released in September of 2016. He may have not jumped on that early, but he is the guy who makes things out of chocolate.
What kinds of things does he make out of chocolate?
Everything.
Oh God! I mean, everything.
He's incredible.
He makes mechanical structures, things with gears made out of chocolate that actually work. He makes clocks.
He's like 3D printing chocolate.
Yes, and his meticulousness, and he shows the whole process.
Wow!
With the molds and it's mind-boggling.
He's one of those people who makes it look so easy. You think you could do it, and then you think about it, you're like, no, this is ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
His Netflix show was wonderful for that reason, Daniel, like you said, like he makes it look like he's just having fun, but then you have these people who have similar training get into his studio or whatever, and they struggle because what he does is so hard, but he is so kind and encouraging and wonderful, and he wants them to succeed. It's a wonderful feel-good show, so I definitely recommend it.
What is the show called?
School of Chocolate.
That's his, yes. Okay.
You guys are reminding me of an old Donald Duck cartoon where he makes an airplane out of honey, and he has to cast the mold for all of the airplane parts, and it's a working airplane, and he gets in the air, and the sun starts to melt it, and it's all falling apart under his feet as he's trying to get down on the ground. That's what, as you're describing what this dude does with chocolate, I'm thinking about that Donald Duck cartoon, and like, wow, we've gotten there. We've done it.
Same idea.
Sounds very similar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He made this he did this thing with Hyundai, and he made one of their new electric car or something, and it literally has a spoiler that can move up and down independent of his action with no electronics or anything.
Wow.
Oh, I thought I saw that video. Yeah.
Just by flipping. Yeah. No, it's unreal.
It's wild.
He's crazy talented.
All right. Round 3, question 3, slightly different vibe. Your category for this one is true crime. Leatherface of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise was based partially on confessions of serial killer Elmer Wayne Henley and also on the crimes of what Wisconsin murderer and body snatcher? When authorities searched his home in 1957, they found a super creepy assortment of clothing and decoration items made from human skin.
Gee, thanks for that question, Erin.
I've heard this before, Zahkia.
They can't all be sunshine and chocolate, Jonathan.
Oh, they should be.
Yep.
We're going to guess some random real person's name and accidentally accuse them of some heinous act.
1957's when they did it. They're dead now. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, but this might be like your next door neighbor, but you can't remember, so you're just naming a guy whose name is familiar.
No, I know my neighbors' names. I'm good.
Oh, good.
I mean, I don't think we're going to be 100% on this, Zahkia, so what do you think? Go with it?
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Okay, we're locking in.
All right, so this is too early for almost all of the serial killers that I think of. The Dahmers and the Bundys and the Gacy's and all of those folks. I'm remembering a person named Gary who was in an early wave, like towards the beginning of serial killing happening. And I cannot remember Gary's last name, but I feel like there's been movies made that were based on him beyond Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I feel like I just don't know the last name. And Daniela, you're saying that the name Glossman is coming to your mind when I say Gary?
Glossman. Again, that might be related to something completely different. And you said G, and those are the first G's coming to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no.
I need an answer.
Well, I guess we're going to say, you want to say Glassman or Glossman?
Chuck, do you have a G name that isn't one of those two?
Chuck's like,
no,
G
but that's
easy.
Yeah, Johnson that starts with a G.
Johnson that starts with a G? Gonson.
Yeah, Johnson with a G. Yeah.
No, let's go ahead and
G.
say Glassman. That's fine. We'll say Glassman.
All right. We all locked in with Glassman. Zahkia and Drew, what did y'all lock in with?
We weren't going to be 100% on this. We threw around a couple names. Holmes also came up, H.H. Holmes, but I feel like he's kind of a catch-all for serial killers. And I know that there have been a bunch of questions on Trivial Warfare before that had him.
And he's Chicago.
And he's Chicago, but Chicago and Wisconsin are not, as Zahkia pointed out.
But he was during the World's Fair. He was like 20 years earlier, I think.
Yeah. So I thought back, there's this show by David Fincher called Mindhunter. It's on Netflix. And I'm very sad it's not coming back, but they spent a lot of time with this serial killer, real one, named Ed Kemper. And they use this other Ed, Edward Gein or Ed Gein. I know it's Gein.
That's the name I was looking for.
And he won't talk to them on the show, but they use him to get in touch with Ed Kemper. I think it's Gein or Gain. I don't remember which. I think it's Gain. But yeah, so we're locking with Gain.
And you know what? You were saying a G name. I'm like, if you guys landed on our G name, I was going to be so mad. But you didn't.
You guys were talking about Gary's from Wisconsin. Like, let's not name check Gary Middleton in this. He's lovely. So I wrote this question a couple weeks ago. I did my trivia game fell on Valentine's Day this year. So I did a round on massacres because you gotta. And I was researching this question at my office, and we do a lot of shouting in my office just to communicate with each other because it's a tiny office. And I was hollering through the walls. I'm like, yeah, they raided his apartment and they found like lampshades and corsets and a belt made out of nipples and all this crazy stuff. My boss is like, hey, cool. There's clients here. So maybe easy on the serial killer shouting. But I was reading from the Wikipedia page of Ed Gein, or perhaps Gain. I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. Gein.
Yeah.
That's exactly the person whose name I was trying to get to, but I just didn't have it in me.
Yeah, y'all were close.
Good job.
That's good, guys.
All right, after 3 rounds, Chuck, Daniela, and Jonathan have 70. Zahkia and Drew are hanging perfect with 90. So a bit of setup for the midpoint. I had this idea a couple weeks ago to do a whole game where each category was based on titles and concepts of board games. That's why we had the root question in round 1. Not like about the actual gameplay, but just things inspired by the games. And I sat down to write this game and hit the most severe writer's block I have ever had. So the back half of the game was what I could accomplish, starting with the midpoint.
So we have half of a game. Okay.
You have half of a game. Because by the time I realized I was not going to get it done in a way that was satisfactory, it was too late to start from scratch. So you get Frankengame. But the midpoint is based on a game called Dream Crush, which is a delightful game where you have different characters, and the characters, you just have a picture, and then every round you reveal different traits about the characters, and you try to guess which of your friends would want to go out on a date with these people. And the traits get progressively weirder. So it's like, round 1, it's like he calls his mom once a week, and round 2 is like he loads the dishwasher in a weird way, and the third round is like he knows a lot about 1930s Germany. So it's really fun. But what I have done here in the spirit of Dream Crush is I have given you a male figure, and you are going to tell me who their female partner was.
Oh.
That makes sense?
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of setup.
Yep.
A lot of setup for a very simple premise. All right, there's 5 of them. Number 1, we have Ptolemy the 13th and Ptolemy the 14th. Number 2,
Sorry,
Douglas.
hold on 1 second.
Can you spell that?
Yeah.
I'll put them all in the chat.
It's
Is it okay?
PTOL
EMY.
EMY. Ptolemy.
Yeah, XIII and XIB. We've got Douglas M. Hoff, EMHOFF. We've got Thea Spire, SPYER. We've got Humbert, and we've got Mike Fisher. So you're going to tell me who is the female counterpart to these figures.
Yeah. Yep. That's why.
Okay. All right. So you good with that?
I need answers fairly soon.
Yeah, so do we.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm right on the first one. So I say we lock in.
All right.
So we have answers for 3 of them. We're working on Thea Spire and Humbert. One of you is saying that Humbert you think is related in sorts to like an author in the U.S.
Yeah, I feel like I saw either an author or an artist for that one, but there's no real reason for me to think this. It's a guess.
You have like a time period?
1776 to 2023.
Great. Humbert. We could say that Humbert was married to, how about Sylvia Plath or Virginia Woolf?
Sure, we'll go Sylvia Plath. Why not?
All right, sure. And Thea Spire, do you want to say Griner on that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I know I read about her wives recently, but I don't remember. That name doesn't ring a bell, but it might be right.
That's the only one I can think of with a recent that something's gone on there.
Okay. So for Ptolemy, we're going to say Nefertiti. For Emhoff, we're going to say Harris. For Spire, we're going to say Griner. For Humbert, we're going to say Plath. And for Fisher, we're going to say Underwood.
And Zahkia and Drew, what did y'all say?
For the first, we said Cleopatra. For second, we said Harris, or Kamala Harris. Number 3 was Windsor. 4, we said Lolita, but Drew was wondering if you needed like her full name or just like the fact that she was a female counterpart to Humbert. And then 5, Carrie Underwood.
All right, number 1, Ptolemy the 13th and Ptolemy the 14th was Cleopatra. Nefertiti's husband was Amenhotep the 4th. Jonathan, you were correct that Cleopatra was part of the Ptolemaic dynasty, but that didn't stop them from marrying siblings.
No, that wasn't the reason that I didn't like her, though. The reason I didn't like her is that she was a young child when she met Caesar and went from Caesar to Mark Antony, and she killed herself at the end of the relationship with Mark Antony, so I didn't realize there was time for separate 2 husbands in there.
They were very brief, according to my hasty reading on the topic, and I'm sure people immersed in the subject can lecture me on the ins and outs of it, but yes. Douglas M. Hoff is married to Kamala Harris. Humbert is the counterpart to Lolita. I did accept Lolita. That's what I was looking for.
When we say Lolita, are we talking about like Amy Fisher? Like
no, like
Lolita?
Nabokov.
No, this is a character.
Yes.
This isn't a person. This was a character?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, that's right. I heard the name.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I never said they were real people, and then I didn't want to back up and correct myself because that would have made it obvious. So, sorry. Thea Spire was the partner to Edie Windsor of the Supreme Court case that made marriages celebrated elsewhere valid in the United States. And Mike Fisher is married to Carrie Underwood. Hooray.
All right. So what are the scores now?
After the midpoint, Zahkia and Drew have 110. Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela have 78 as we go into round 4.
All right, everybody. As mentioned earlier, here's the trailer for Lifeyness by Sarah.
There's this song by Anais Mitchell called Little Big Girl. It's about a grown woman who is blindsided by the world seeing her as a lady when she still feels like a child. I love this idea that all of us are just these little big kids who feel unprepared to take on the adult world in adult bodies. Especially women. We don't seem to have space to play and feel relaxed, and do the things that truly delight our spirits. Elizabeth Gilbert has said, "A revolutionary woman is a relaxed woman." It doesn't mean being pampered or childish. It means you get to be fully present in your body without worrying about appearances or constantly caring for others. It means you have time to connect to your unique sense of creativity and excitement in a safe space. The inspiration comes directly from my own experience and sometimes the tragic experiences of women and girls I'm close to, starting with my own daughter, a beautiful spirit who is figuring out her own place in the world of young womanhood. For all the little big girls who need space to stretch out and get comfortable in their own skin. So welcome to Lifeyness, a new kind of wellness podcast. I'm your guide, Professor Sarah, storyteller, teacher, and advocate of bringing girlhood into adult life. It's about having a healthy, responsive connection to your emotions and your body. It's that sweet spot in which your spirit happens to be in a good place and your body is feeling relaxed and healthy. This is also a collaborative project, a podcast which will take the shape of a book eventually, and it relies on women and girls from all walks of life, especially those who celebrate positive embodiment through good food, playful professions such as dance and improv, and getting grounded in nature and movement that is fun. So join us as we embrace girlhood for life.
If you're interested in trying Lifeyness, check out the show notes in today's episode on your phone, and you will find a link to the Spotify feed for Lifeyness. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
So, like I said before, the next three categories, actually 4 categories, are all based around board games. If you haven't played them, it's not going to hurt you. I just use them for inspiration. So, round 4 is all based on the game Wingspan. Round 4, question 1. And Tango Makes 3 is the real-life story of Roy and Silo, who, with the help of an observant Central Park zookeeper, were given and hatched an egg. This story was retold in a children's book that upset some because Roy and Silo are both males of what animal?
Children's books again. Children's book serial killers.
I have some meows on this one.
All right, thank goodness. How many here? Hold on, wrong thing.
We're locked in. 3,
It's
2,
too
1.
late. You can't have a meow meow after he's already locked in. That doesn't work. What did you say? Anyway?
Do you guys want 3, 2, 1 it?
No, we haven't talked about it yet.
No? Okay.
All right, so y'all think it's penguins?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, I have read this book to my daughter.
Wonderful. All right, then we'll lock in penguins.
Okay. And Zahkia and Drew, what did you guys lock in with?
Children's literature got me on Jeopardy, but was not gonna get me here. The answer is penguin.
It is a super, super cute story about penguins.
Or as Benedict Cumberbatch would say, penglings. Penguins.
Or penguins. I was literally about to say the same thing.
That's God, I love that video.
Penguins.
Penguins.
Round 4, question 2 in Wingspan. What species of bird appears like clockwork in most forms of human storytelling, from Greek mythology when the bird was sacred to Hera, to a song in Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost, and in Indian culture where they are sacred to the goddess Kamadeva?
Now this one I have toot toots on. Oh, so low. That's better. No. This. I'm 100% on that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll lock it in.
All right.
Okay, so when I think of Hera, there are 2 birds. There's not one, there's 2 birds, but I think that the one they'd be looking for is the peacock. But I'm pretty sure the cuckoo was also affiliated with her.
I think it's peacock.
Yep. Okay, we'll lock in peacock.
Well, I must commit harikari now. I'm falling on the sword because I misheard the question and got excited and locked in incorrectly. I was thinking we said Athena, not Hera, and the word clockwork bird Athena takes me to Clash of the Titans with the clockwork owl. So I happily locked in owl, and then as you guys were talking, I heard you say Hera, not Athena, and knew immediately that my answer was completely and utterly incorrect, at which point I have to apologize to my teammates. That being said, we said owl.
You did say owls. 10 points to Orange Cat on this one. I think this is the first one that both of y'all have missed. The hint was in clockwork, but not because of the clockwork owl, but because they're commonly associated with clocks. It is a cuckoo.
The clock. I didn't listen to the whole question, but there is a
same.
There's a Shakespeare song about peacocks. Something about when he struts his stuff, he shows his backside to the world. That's a Shakespeare thing too. It's just the clock thing. I'm pretty sure
Who's the peacock in Greek mythology? Who did all the? Who's like, oh yeah, like I have all these eyes to follow me. That's definitely a thing.
I will do some digging when y'all are doing the gauntlet. Okay.
All right.
Round 4, question 3. A woodpecker, rooster, and the aforementioned cuckoo, among others, know that the branch of ornithology that studies eggs is called what?
I like this word.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Chuck.
Sense.
Do you want to lock in?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident in that.
Daniela, you cool with that?
I'm good with it. I had no idea.
All right, we're locked in.
So I was going to type to you, Drew, that your answer of, I don't know if it's oo or oology, but it's better than my thing of ovology. And ovum is Latin. And this is going to sound weird, but the O as egg makes me think of the uku from Legend of Zelda, which is a little chicken-like thing that's in an egg and it talks to you. So that's why I like your answer.
You didn't specify birds' eggs, right? You just said the study of eggs.
Yes, the branch of ornithology that deals with eggs.
Yes. Okay, then we're good. Well, we can lock in with that.
What'd you guys lock in with? Sorry.
Oology.
Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela.
Yeah, we locked in with also oology or oology.
That is the answer, and that is why woodpeckers, roosters, and cuckoos would all be involved. It is oology. After round 4, Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela have 98. Zahkia and Drew have 130. Moving on to round 5. Your inspiration for round 5 was the game Terraforming Mars, which is a game where you seek to terraform Mars. Question 1. Forces from Earth destroyed the Martian moon Deimos in response to Mars's destruction of the research station on Phoebe. This was a plot point in what TV show, which concluded in 2022. The final book in the series it was based on was published in late 2021.
Oh.
100%. We can lock in.
Okay.
All right, Danny, talk about it.
It's on Prime.
Okay, so things on Prime. Everything's on Prime.
Was The Expanse
Expanse.
on Prime? Okay.
That's definitely it. It's
Wow.
The Expanse.
Love that.
Thank
Look at that teamwork. That's fantastic. We're going to lock in with The Expanse. Erin?
Okay. Drew and Zahkia, what did y'all lock in with?
I heard about this show on TikTok. There was a creator I follow who is like basically asking if there was a story about the power struggle between people like colonizing Mars and people living there and people on Earth. And they're like, yeah, it's The Expanse. And I'm like, oh. And then I learned it was a TV show and a book and then went down that rabbit hole. So we also said The Expanse.
Excellent. It is both one of my favorite series of science fiction, well, books in general, and one of my favorite TV shows. It is The Expanse.
It is an excellent TV show. I really like it.
It's got it all.
Wow.
Yep. It's got politics. It's got drama. It's got science. It's got interpersonal relationships. It's got, I can't pronounce her name, but the woman who plays Christian Avasarala is a force of nature, and I want to be her when I grow up. Cannot recommend it enough. Round 5, question 2, Terraforming Mars. Although it is a moon of Jupiter, not Mars, what satellite is a playable space in the game? The moon is the largest in the solar system and is the only moon known to have a magnetic field.
I got some meows on this one.
Oh, my.
Good.
I
I
got
had a bunch of
this.
English words that didn't go together.
I agree with you.
Okay.
So we're locked in.
Zahkia, it's Ganymede.
Ganymede.
Okay. And Chuck and Friends, what'd you guys say?
Well, Terraforming Mars is one of my favorite games, and I recently learned that Saturn's moon Titan is not the biggest moon in the solar system.
Second biggest.
Two of the spaces you can play on in Terraforming Mars that are not on Mars itself are Phobos, which is one of Mars's moons, and I believe Ganymede. So you locked in Ganymede.
It is Ganymede. Nice work, all of you.
Well done.
What was your little chuckle for? It made me think that we had it wrong. When we gave our answer, and you chuckled.
Oh, I have literally no idea.
Oh.
Okay.
She was watching cat videos in her head.
Yeah, always.
The cat was making
I don't know.
biscuits.
Sorry.
She was very happy.
Yes, bring me delight. Oh, it was because you said, I think you said that you just learned that Titan is not the largest moon in the solar system. Was that?
That was.
Yeah, you said that.
That was Chuck, not us.
Ah.
Oh.
So I think Erin was just really like chuckling or not even thinking about it because I said Ganymede in like a really silly voice.
That was it. That was what it was. That was it.
Okay. Got it.
Cool. I'm like, I don't want to be accountable for all of my moments of mirth. I don't know what I'm laughing at. I did smile when you said that Titan was not the largest moon in the solar system because question 3 goes as follows. Titanium was sung as a lullaby by the title character in what 2023 film? The character was played by Amy Donald and voiced by Jenna Davis.
Yep. That makes sense.
I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's in the trailer. Is that right? Am I way off?
Oh.
Let me type it because they're talking.
Okay.
Erin, is this a TV show or a movie? You say
film movie.
I think so too. We'll lock in.
Okay. I believe that was Zahkia and Drew.
Mm-hmm.
2023 means now. And on Peacock, I believe, Megan, M3GAN, is the name of a movie with a android little girl who is like the protector of another little girl. So like I can see, I was kind of wondering if it's not a cartoon, because somebody plays a character, but why would you have a different person do the voice? Well, it makes sense if it's like a specialized visual effect character and a robot voice kind of thing. So this really seems to check all the boxes. It's not a theatrical movie, or maybe it was and was just picked up by Peacock really quickly. I don't know, but I would think that it's probably Megan.
I'm good to go with that.
sounds good.
All right, we're going to lock that in.
Great. Drew and Zahkia, what'd y'all lock in with?
I was thinking of the trailer. I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't know if it's Megan or Megan, but it has that 3 in there. That was Zahkia could remember dancing in the trailer. Yeah. So we said Megan, whatever it is.
M3gan.
Yes. I liked you talking yourself into the answer as you told us what you had locked in with. I believe it was also released in theaters and was simultaneously released on streaming because this is the future, but it was Megan or M3gan. It was fine. It was fine. But the kid who did, Amy Donald, who played the robot, did a fantastic job. And I was reading about it last night. She worked with the guy who also did the physicality work for Gollum. So she has kind of that, her movement work is really cool in the film. And I think just the CGI and stuff that made that creature character is worth it alone to see, to watch the movie. After 5 rounds, Jonathan, Chuck, and Danny have 128. Zahkia and Drew have 160. Round 6, your category is Scythe. Number 1. The 6th episode of the 2nd season of what American animated sitcom was titled Death is a Beep? The character of the Grim Reaper got hurt and everyone was immortal for a short time while he was recovering.
Chuck smiled, so I hope he has an answer.
I have all of the meow meows on this.
Chuck, are you okay? Did y'all lock in, Drew? Zahkia?
I'm sending it to her.
Okay. Chuck, are you saying this with confidence or questioning?
I'm pretty confident about this. I watched a lot of this show in college. I'm pretty sure I had a pirated copy of this episode, and Death was a recurring character. So,
okay. Daniela, are you okay with it?
I'm good with it. I've seen an episode here or there, but I'm not a huge watcher of the show.
All right. Well, I'm in the same boat you are, so we're going to go with it. We'll lock in.
Norm Macdonald, who just passed, played Death in this, and it's Family Guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're locking in with that?
Yes.
He was a recurring character in Family Guy.
Yay!
Nice.
Yay.
Good job, Chuck.
Hooray.
Did we ever actually give our answer? Because we were talking in very vague form.
I don't think we did. I never actually
No,
said
I was about to say.
I wondered,
don't
but
think we did.
I felt like
But,
I must have missed something.
But we did lock in with Family Guy.
Even if we didn't, we're getting the credit now. Because if she asks for an answer, we're going to give it to her.
Yeah, you did. Sorry about that. Round 6, question 2, category is scythe. In 1917, designer Evgeny Ivanovich Kamzolkin won a contest with what now iconic design? The accompanying inscription was originally written in 6 languages, although today the symbol typically appears on its own.
Sorry, can you put the name of the person in the chat so I can see how it's spelled? I'm not going to make you spell it all just because it's long.
Oh, it's the traditional spelling of Kamzolkin.
Oh, yeah. How silly of us.
It's
Sorry.
we'll lock in with that.
You like that?
Oh, it's it. Yeah.
Okay. We're locking in.
I'm thinking 1917, we're talking about the communist revolution in Russia. So designing something with a name that looks like a Russian name would likely be the hammer and sickle logo that is featured on the Russian flag.
Did that have writing on it ever?
Had the CCRP or whatever those
that just means Russia. Like that's just the name of the country.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's throwing me off is I don't know.
But I also am trying to think of other things that were designed in 1917 by a Russian that are logos, because it does sound like this is a logo situation.
Description. See, but the fact that symbol typically appears on its own now.
Yeah, on the flag, there's no inscription. There's just the hammer and sickle.
No, you're right.
The symbol.
I don't love it, but I can't think of anything better.
And you could say 6 languages with that, because Russia had, you were talking about, if you're talking about the communist takeover of Russia, you're talking about becoming the Soviet Union, so you might have to write it in Georgian, or you might have to write it in the other, you might have to write it in Jewish or Yiddish, or there was lots of different languages.
But the Soviet Union isn't till a lot later.
I don't know if the Soviet Union is a lot later, but regardless, Russia does have a lot of languages.
I don't have anything better, so I say let's go with it.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I just can't think of what would be written underneath it.
Yeah, sure. Something about the people, probably. All right. We're going to lock in with hammer and sickle.
All right. And Zahkia and Drew.
Oh, also the category is scythe, by the way. So that's probably a clue, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I went down the same road that Jonathan went down. 1917, time of the Russian Revolution, the thing with the different languages. There are the many different languages that are spoken in the places of the Soviet Union. The category is scythe. It seems Russian in nature. We also said hammer and sickle.
The logo originally contained the inscription "Proletarians of the World Unite" in Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Georgian, Armenian, and Azerbaijani, and featured a hammer and sickle on top of a globe in rays of the sun, surrounded by a wreath of grain and under a 5-pointed star. All I needed was hammer and sickle. It has been simplified significantly in the last 100 years.
Nice.
They ran out of thread for all that. My goodness. It's a lot.
And round 6, question 3. Yes. I'm like, why is this question in this round? I'm sorry, y'all. Round 6, question 3. The genre of mecha animation dates back to the 1960s, but was popularized globally by what series, which debuted in 1995? The reversal of tropes of the genre, as well as the psychological themes, have made this a massively popular and enduring franchise.
The 1995 series, did you specify in what medium this series was in?
Did not.
Yeah.
I need an answer fairly soon.
Oh, goodness. It's so hard.
60 seconds, please.
It says you guys have been typing for a while, but nothing's coming through.
I mean, do you guys want a hint?
I wouldn't.
I would love one.
I won't say no.
I took a detail out of the question because I thought it was too easy.
All right.
Debuted in 1995, was broadcast on TV Tokyo from October 95 to March of 96.
It's my answer. It's my answer, Zahkia.
Okay. That
And I
helps
have not
so
been
much.
watching what I have not been watching what you guys were typing. I just noticed you were all typing a lot.
It aired on what?
TV was broadcast on TV Tokyo from October 95 to March of 96.
Okay. Well.
Okay, I'm down with
Do you guys
that.
want to do that?
Yeah, that was one of the guesses I had originally. Sure, we can lock it in.
All right, Drew. Just do Gundam.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I'm defeated. Yes.
You got more right than the rest of us, so I think you're doing all right.
Okay.
This is rough.
They locked in.
Yeah.
They locked in with Gundam. Chuck, Danny, and Jonathan. What did you guys lock in with?
We locked in with Sailor Moon. We don't know. We don't think it's right, but it is a reversal of gender tropes, so that could be. So we went Sailor Moon.
Okay. So in this case, the connection was that the game of Scythe uses little mechs as player pieces. That was the tie-in, and this was 10 more points to Orange Cat. Gundam began in the 1970s, but you were in the right area. These are mech animation are the guys in robot suits, kind of like Power Rangers, but the anime that I would describe it as massively popular. Most everyone I've talked to, I sort of checked out while you were talking. It spawned a whole bunch of movies, and people were so pissed at the ending that they kept sending death threats to the creator when they didn't like it. The psychological themes are really what kind of sets this apart from its contemporaries. It's a show called Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I've heard of this. I've heard of this.
If you had given the death threats thing, I would have gotten it, but massively popular amongst a very small subset of the populace.
I will let the commentariat weigh in on that. The Evangelion pachinko machine generated 700 billion yen in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm stalling now because I've lost my spreadsheet. Going into the gauntlet, Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela have 148. Zahkia and Drew have 180. Place your bets.
And what's the gauntlet category?
7 Wonders.
Our wager's locked in.
All right, our wager's locked in.
In the category of 7 Wonders, approximately the height of the Statue of Liberty, the Colossus of Rhodes was a statue of what Greek god erected in the city of Rhodes on the island of the same name?
Okay, I think we should go ahead and lock that in.
Okay.
Our answer is locked
Great.
in.
Question number 2. Although the list has been decried for its unscientific methodology and is not supported by UNESCO, the 7 wonders of the modern world persist. The city once called Rakmo, R-A-Q-M-O, included on this list for its history and architecture, was a capital of the Nabatean kingdom and is today located in what country? I will paste.
You are so mean.
That's not mean.
If y'all don't like the bait and switch, just wait until question 3.
All right, we're locked in. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, our answer's locked in.
Gauntlet question 3. 7 Wonders is a track off the 2002 Grammy-winning album This Side by what progressive bluegrass band? They have been on again, off again since 2007, but a permanent reunion became unlikely in 2016 when their mandolin player took over for Garrison Keillor.
Sorry, what was the year on that?
They have been on again, off again since 2007, but a permanent reunion became less likely in 2016 when their mandolin player took over for Garrison Keillor.
Oh, wrong thread.
And Danielle, in case this was the question you were asking, the album won the Grammy in 2002. I'll paste the whole question. 90 seconds.
Brain function.
If that worked, I'd be smarter.
When we all.
Drew, did you want to lock that in?
Not really. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
locked in.
All right, we're going to lock in.
Okay, back to the top. Number 1, approximately the height of the Statue of Liberty, the Colossus of Rhodes is a statue of what Greek god? We will start with Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela.
We all felt like this was Apollo, so we answered Apollo.
Okay, and Zahkia and Drew.
We were pretty sure that it was the sun god, Helios.
All right, y'all said Helios. Question 2.
Yeah, well, we went the sun god Apollo. Because they're both sun gods.
The city once called Rachmo, included in the Seven Wonders of the Modern World, is today located in what country? Let's start with Drew and Zahkia.
Jordan.
Oh, you were the same one. We
Yep,
also
you guys
said
also
Jordan. Yeah, we were thinking of Petra and hoping.
Okay. And number 3, Seven Wonders is a track off the Grammy-winning album This Side by what band? Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela.
I could not think of the actual band's name, so we went with the Soggy Bottom Boys because it's the band that sings for George Clooney, but I could not remember the actual band's name.
Soggy Bottom Boys for the win.
And Drew and Zahkia.
I grew up with Prairie Home Companion, and I tried to block it from my mind, given some troubles that Garrison ran into. But I'm pretty sure that somebody from the band Nickel Creek took over as the host for him. I didn't know as the mandolin player. I don't know his name, but that was the best that we could come up with was Nickel Creek.
Okay. I will start with the one you guys agreed on, and I'm glad I rewrote this one to make it a tiny bit harder because once you guys clued in on Petra, you clocked that this is the Kingdom of Jordan.
Nice.
Once called Rachmo, now called Petra, located in Jordan. The Colossus of Rhodes was a statue of a Greek god, the personification or deification of the sun, which is Helios.
Nice job.
Although Apollo is associated with the sun, Helios is the personification of the sun. And number 3, Seven Wonders, track off the 2022 Grammy-winning album. It's not called Prairie Home Companion anymore. In 2017, it was renamed Live From Here, presumably in an attempt to get more people to listen to it. But that's not the question. Chris Thiel was the mandolin player for Nickel Creek.
Wow.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
You guys said Chris Thiel, but we couldn't come up with the name. Good job, y'all. What a freaking
Nice work.
name.
Jonathan, Chuck, and Daniela, what did you guys wager?
We wanted to get a number around 70-ish, and that put us directly on 69.
Sure did. And Zahkia and Drew.
We wagered 100. We went for the lockout. We wagered 117.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The spreadsheet did some math. I think the math is correct. The spreadsheet tells me that with a score of 232 to 76, Drew and Zahkia are today's winners, but it was a well-played game by all players.
Good game,
Good
y'all.
game,
Good
everyone.
win.
Nice job.
Well done.
Well done. So before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Drew, you're the big winner, so we're going to start with you.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on again.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I called this out last time, but it's just kind of my go-to charity. I do want to put a word in for an organization, nonprofit called Southern Smoke. I work in the restaurant industry. The crisis that was created by COVID that hit the restaurant industry especially hard is not over yet. And they are a kind of crisis center for COVID-related issues created by the pandemic. The restaurant industry is adapting and still surviving, but they need a lot of help. So put a word out for the Southern Smoke Foundation.
Outstanding. Thank you. All right, Daniela, over to you.
First of all, I couldn't do this without my husband today, literally, because I don't know if I would have logged in with all the technology issues. Don is amazing.
Good job, Don.
And he's not only my hubby, he's also my business partner now for River Oaks Interiors, which is amazing, and I'm really, really excited. On a slightly more serious note, I am a huge proponent of mental health. Check in on your friends, even though everyone seems to be smiling, and now that we're kind of COVID's still there, but we're on the tail end of it. Hopefully, please, just check in on people. As something as simple as saying hi, how you doing? Even if they say fine, just knowing that you're thinking of them goes a really, really long way. That's my thing.
Very good. And then over to Chuck.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me again, and want to shout out my wife for making sure our baby's happy while I'm doing this. Give the same shout out that I always do, which is to support your local libraries. They're a great part of our community, and we have a children's library. We take our daughter to every weekend, and we make sure to read to her every night. So make sure we support our local libraries because they're just so important.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we've come to the end of the game. That is going to wrap us up. So, for Chuck, for Daniela, for Drew, for Erin, and for Zahkia, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 411. Nope, that's not the right number. I'm looking at the number and reading it wrong. This is number... God bless.
Long day.
We're almost there, Jonathan.
I didn't get to sleep until
418.
after 3 last night, and I've been doing this all day, and I'm so done.
This is why I never do 2 in a day. I die. My brain just stops.
Oh, all right. This had been episode number 418 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.
Hey, guys, hold on a second. I think I've found Daniela. I'm going to add this person to a call and hope it's the right person. How do I add her to this call?
Really weird if it isn't.
It would be really weird if it isn't. How do I add her to this?
Hello, stranger.
Maybe there'll be a ringer.
Perfect timing for this because the Rangers are playing the Caps right now, and I just got like 4 texts about some amazing saves Shesterkin made. So thank you for giving me the time to watch it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yay!
Hello.
All right. You are here. We
and
are.
I'm a child who was crying, so.
Wait, what happened?
No, I couldn't get on, and I was so frustrated, and
Oh, I'm
I just
sorry.
started crying. So I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm usually not a
You're here.
I usually don't look like a crazy person.
let's all have a moment of zen. Let's just take a nice deep breath.
My husband
Right.
just brought me a beer because I was so worked up.
There we go. Wonderful.
It's a
Wonderful.
good
man.
husband.
Hey, before we go on, I heard like a Mario coin sound come up in the middle of the conversation there. I don't know who's got like unmuted devices or computer stuff, but we need to make sure that everything else is muted, okay? It's really weird to be talking about serial killers and then have a ding sound pop up
That was
while it
I'm
was
sorry.
happening.
I accidentally unmuted my phone, and my wife texted me at that moment.
That's your wife's text sound? Is she?
That's my-
is this
that's
a
my-
lady problem situation here?
No, that's my all.
Uh-oh.
My wife's the only special treatment my wife has on my phone is that her ringtone is "Man Eater" by Hall & Oates.
Gotcha. All right.
Nice.